What is crackalackin' YouTube? This is your boy Deshaun, and today I just wanted to have a general conversation with you guys about 4K and what it is, and basically the basic information about 4K. So you've probably heard 4K, in a video or in the comment section, or you saw it in a forum somewhere, and you gotta ask yourself, well, what is exactly 4K? Well, basically 4K is a resolution. So to put things into perspective, a phone's resolution typically is around 1280 by 720, which is what we like to refer to as native 720p. A laptop, a really good laptop, or average laptop screen would be around 1440 by 900. A TV/monitor that you typically have on your wall or something, you sit on your couch and you're watching your TV, be around 1920 by 1080, which is native 1080p. And 4K resolution would typically have to be somewhere around 4000 by 2000. 4K does not have a typical resolution that every single 4K screen goes by. And the main reason 4K has its name is because 4K is 4 times the pixels of 1080p by 1920, which is the full HD experience. The closest thing we can get to standard 4K that is around 4000 by 200 is UHD, which stands for ultra high definition, and that is 3840 by 2160. Now that is a lot of pixels. So another thing to take into account is pixel density, which basically the higher the pixel density, the better it looks the closer you get to the screen. And that's why when Apple first came out with the iPhone 4, they were talking about retina displays and you can't see pixels on the screen. That doesn't mean that it had a high resolution, it just means that it had a high pixel density. Now, pixel density is measured in PPI, or pixels per inch, and when you have a lower PPI and get really close to your screen, you start to see these blue, green, and yellow dots, which is commonly known as the subdigital matrix. To put things into perspective, the typical pixel density of a phone would be around 300 PPI. The typical pixel density for a laptop screen will be around 120 PPI, and the typical pixel density for a TV screen that you have on your wall and you're sitting from your couch and you're watching would be around, shocker, 40 PPI. Now 40 PPI seems really small compared to a phone's, which was just about 300 PPI, but you have to take this into perspective. With a phone, you're really close to it all the time, so you have to have a better PPI so you don't start seeing like the red, green, and blue, or all that disgusting stuff that you don't want to see. But with a TV, it's pretty far away from you. You're sitting on your couch, you're sitting in your bed, and you will never see the subdigital matrix or anything that's low quality if you're sitting far away from your TV. That's why it's such low PPI, and that also keeps the cost of the TV down. Now for 4K TVs, they have a unique case because their typical pixel density is just a little bit above laptop's pixel density. They're around 125 PPI. So you can never, either you get really close or you get really far away, you can never see jagged edges or any type of pixelation if you get too close to a 4K TV or if you get far away. But the best way to view a 4K TV is to get farther away. Now that we know the basic general information about resolution and PPIs and all that stuff, what does this have to do with gaming? Right now, with the current generation of consoles, it's pretty sad, it's really pathetic. Although that the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One can output 4K videos, TV shows, Netflix is actually offering streaming services for 4K. They say you need like at least a 15 megabyte download, and you can watch 4K videos and TV shows. You can watch pictures, and we have Blu-ray, which is 4K, but they cannot do 4K video games. I mean, if you had a 4K video game, your frame rate would not be lovable. Your frame rate would probably be like 1 frame per day. Like you have to play 1 frame for a second, then come back the next day and play the rest, like each day, to play a video game. So it's pretty sad, and we're not going to get 4K probably until next generation. That's farther 8 to 10 years down the line. So the only real life application of 4K gaming is going to be on PC gaming, and we recently haven't even been able to get the highest quality of 4K gaming. I mean, if you really want 4K gaming and you bought like the highest end stuff that you possibly can get right now that is available, you can probably get it at 4K, but it will have to be at like low to medium settings, and it would be like 30 frames per second. Like it wouldn't be the high, it wouldn't be that good. So in real application it's kind of like a novelty kinda. But there is new hope because there is this new AMD graphics card. I'm sorry for you Nvidia people, but this new AMD graphics card that's coming out actually this month called the Radeon R9 295X2, which is basically two R9 290XY GPUs combined into one single graphics card. It has 8GB of GDDR5 memory. It has a built-in 120mm water cooling loop to keep it cool and try to keep it as quiet as possible, and I will have links to this card in the description, and it comes out later this day. And this graphics card is a mother trucking monster because, you know, it can run relatively high-end games on average like 50 to 40 frames per second and in full 4K. But the downside is this card costs $1,500 and it's coming out this month, so I could either buy a PC or I can buy this graphics card. And if you're going to be gaming with this beast of a card, you're obviously going to need a 4K enabled TV. Now there has been a lot of controversy with this screen because a year ago, if you want to get like a 4K TV, they only come in a few sizes, and they were about like not even super expensive. They were like Steve Jobs expensive. Like you could either buy a car or you could get a TV. Like it is ridiculous, but they have come down the prices, and they do have multiple sizes now. You can even find some computer monitors at around 300 to 400 if that's affordable to you, but I'm good with my 1080p TV screen, 32-inch TV screen. And also those cheap monitors that are $300 $400, those you can't really go lower than 20 inches, or you can even have 20 inches, because if you had a 20-inch monitor, the higher the resolution of your screen is, obviously the text will be rendered illegible. You won't be able to see icons, and everything will just be too small for you to even see. So you're going to need something around 30 and above to actually take advantage of 4K in its fullest prime. So with all this information said, are we ever going to see 4K even in the near future? Typically, as I said earlier, we're going to have 4K way down in the future, like 8 to 10 years, just universally for everybody to take advantage of. So if you have any questions or have any concerns or any comments, put that in the section below. Don't forget to like if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe if you want to see more. This is your buddy Sean, and I'll see you guys later.